Hey everyone, it's Evan here with a trade recap for the week ending Friday, January 13th. So this is going to be a video covering all of the trades that we just closed out for this past week. This is the signals, the alerts that I send out to premium subscribers. And this is basically a snippet of sort of the private videos that I do for subscribers, kind of going over the trades. We're going to skip out the new trades that we're putting on and discussing those, but we're going to go through all of the trades that we closed out, win, lose, or draw. Most of the trades this week, we had 7 trades. 4 of them were losers. You can see which trades we closed out this week on the bottom left here. And we're just going to cycle through these and go through the thought process, and hopefully you guys enjoy this sort of format. If you do, I'd love a comment, or if you want to see more videos like this, kind of disclosing everything that we put on this week and traded with the exact sort of prices, then let me know if you like this format. So let's jump into it. So ANET was our first closing trade. Remember, we're only talking about closing trades. We're not talking about new opens or positions that we still have on, just the trades that closed out this week. So ANET was a breakout trade that we put on this bar right here. And remember, we're end of day traders, so that means we're generally executing in that last half hour. We're going to be basically getting the closing price of the day. In ANET, that wasn't any different. 101.76, that was our entry price. So when we put this trade on, we knew we were chasing this move after a big sort of expansion bar higher. We knew it was overextended. So we position sized with only half size. So we had a 50% position size based on what we normally allocate to these trades. And this particular trade, looking for a quick 1 or 2 day follow through move to get out of it. So we weren't looking for some new parabolic trend. We weren't going to give it a ton of room. We knew it was overextended. We wanted to see that froth sort of develop and start to just peel it off in the next day or two. Clearly that didn't happen. So what ended up happening here in ANET was we went sideways on Thursday. So we were in on Wednesday. It went sideways Thursday, but didn't do anything wrong. Just kind of stayed in here in the top 90% of range. Same thing went for Friday. Didn't do anything wrong. It barely violated Thursday's lows, but still consolidating in the upper, 85 to 90% of this sort of expansion bar, the signal bar. No reason for us to exit yet. This, though, was the exit day. So on Monday of this week, the 9th, when we came in, we saw some market weakness. This was the day where it finally just kind of pulled back enough where, again, we weren't looking to sit in this trade for a long time. We wanted to be kind of quick in and out, and at this point it certainly wasn't that case. So we were in here at 101.76, and we ended up trading out of this at about 99.50 for a 2.24% loss. Again, these dollar amounts on the bottom left hand corner here, it coincides with the model $50,000 trading account that I have listed on the performance page on the site. So it just normalizes it so you can see basically what it would look like on a standard $50,000 account. So it would be about $175 loss. So that would be about minus 0.3%, if you're going to get specific on an account basis. So that was ANET, breakout trade, looking for immediate follow through. Didn't happen. Let's talk about our next closing trade. Another loser. In fact, we came into this week booking 3 losers right off of the bat on that early Monday market weakness. So J&J, this was an entry that we put on, another breakout trade that we were trying for in the healthcare sector as this started to perk up a bit. This was an entry 2 weeks ago, so this would be on Thursday the 5th, and we're playing for this breakout here. Again, half-size position. We do half-size position because it depends, on a few other factors I'm not going to get into in this video. It depends on other, positions that we have on, how much allocation we have, how much we like the market environment. So half-size position on this breakout here. Friday didn't get any follow-through, just an inside day, and Monday is when we actually stopped out of this, kind of discretionarily got out of this a little bit sooner than our stop loss told us to, but the weakness in the morning in the market and just the continued chop without actually getting this breakout going was enough to just step aside, close out this half-sized position. Again, this was a half-sized position, and this was the exit date here. So J&J, we were in at 116.91 and we were out at 116.03. So just a 2-day trade breakout that didn't get going, and of course has ended up kind of rolling over here later in the week. So it was a good exit at this point, and it ended up being minus $155 on that model account. So an even smaller loss than ANET. XME. Third trade in a row, we closed out with a loser. XME was a pullback trade that we got into here on the 4th, on Wednesday. And, this is, a pullback trade that we look at, very similar, always kind of follows this pattern. You have strong momentum leg higher, kind of a clean, a little more of an extended sort of pullback here than we generally look for in pullback trades, but still fits the bill, holding around the 20-period EMA. And then you saw this nice spike up, looking like it wants to continue to trend or resume its trend. So this was the entry price on the 4th at 32.13. We had nice follow through initially. We almost got our first profit target. Our first profit target was right above $33. We were looking in that general area to start to scale some of that off, and it came within like 5 or 10 cents of it. So we didn't get filled on the partial profit. And then we had this 2-day pullback, which was convincing enough to stop us out. So XME ended up being another loser, in at 32.13. Out at 31.59, so basically right in here as it started to come back below the 20-period EMA. That was the point at which we got stopped out, and coincidentally that was almost the lows of the pullback. As you could see, it kind of popped right back up the next day and continued higher. So XME, again, going back to our chart here, minus $240, so it's about that's about a 0.5% loss if you were keeping track on an account basis, and that was XME. So 3 quick losers out of the gate, all getting stopped out on Monday. So again, we have other positions on at this time, but those are the 3 that kind of got knocked off for us right to start the week. So HQY, luckily we do have a winner here, so let's discuss this one next. HQY was an entry that we put on the 9th. So as we were getting stopped out of those trades, we ended up putting this one on towards the end of the day. Another pretty much pullback trade, similar setup that we generally look for. Nice move to the upside, extended pullback, but holding around that 20 period, and a nice kind of trend resumption move higher. This was the entry day, so at the close here on the 9th at 42.82, close to the close of the day. And we saw a lot of follow through, tremendous amount of strength, and this time unfortunately we were getting out of this too soon. We ended up selling pretty aggressively here on this day on the 10th, but we sold 40% off around 44.48 or 44.22, somewhere right in here, and then we took the rest of it off as it started to clear this pivot here and make its way at around 45.28, I believe was the exact exit. So more or less around these 2 spots are where we got out of this trade. As you can see, it continued to rocket higher. We were very aggressive on exiting this trade. It was very extended. I mean, if you throw Bollinger Bands on this move here on this day, you could see it was completely outside of the upper Bollinger Band. Market environment still, nothing great. So a lot of other factors, other exposure we had on that led us to sort of aggressively take profits off. Needless to say, though, it was a nice winner. If you look down here at our chart, it's almost 5% gain, $560 on the upside there on that model, 50K account. So brought us back into the green almost for the week, and that was a nice breakout trade that continues to move higher. So ideally, not scaling out as quick on that, but you're never going to be perfect. You just want to try and be there for the bulk of these moves, and this was a nice capture there for a quick trade. Next is TER. So TER was breakout trade. Love this look. You could see just move sideways in a nice healthy base above the 20 period. Had this nice explosion higher here. This was our entry on the 10th, and this ended up being a small loss for us. We got tripped out of this on the 12th on this volatility as it came back down and retested these lows. So in it on the 10th, we survived this day here, even though it was a very wide range, choppy, volatile day on the 11th. We stayed with it. But on the 12th, as we saw our second day of very sloppy intraday behavior, we decided to jump out of this intraday, and unfortunately, not getting the lows, we were out around $26. So just a real small loss on this, minus 165 on that account. So just a small loss, playing things very tight, and you can see it did start to pop back up. So it looks actionable. It's back on the watch list, but that one just enough to sort of chop us out there near the lows. Next, UNVR. This was a small winner for us. So again, pretty much a pullback trade on this setup here, as we had this nice move higher, pull back to the 20, got this move off of it. This was the entry day here on the 10th. We got into this trade at 27.87, so about 10 cents lower than where it closed on the day. And we saw some nice follow through the next day. We were able to get some profit out of that trade. We took 30% off at 28.58, so basically exactly where it closed. And then once again, this 12th, as we saw this market weakness on the 12th, which was Thursday, chopped us out of this trade, and we actually got stopped out here as it started to come back below that 8 period. And we took the rest of that position off around 28.11 or so, so close to the lows of the day. And we saw that nice intraday reversal, so we were kind of stuck, getting stopped out there on the lows, but that unfortunately is the name of the game sometimes. Did come out with a gain net overall, $220 to the upside on UNVR, so continues to sort of be on the watch list, although not so interested in it given where it is right now. Finally, TMV. This is a quick reversal trade that we put on. This is effectively a short on the TLT. If you've never heard of the TMV, it's a 3x, so it's a levered bearish bond fund, long bond. So it's basically shorting the TLT. And we'll just look at the TLT because that's really the underlying that we're sort of looking at. And the reversal trade that we were looking for was exactly this. So as we started to come back into this prior supply and prior swing highs, what we saw was a higher open in TLT, a failure to push higher, and then a close on the lows of the day. So a very classic looking candlestick that designates or suggests potential reversal is on the way. It was at a great spot for us to take advantage of that. So we got short TLT via TMV here at the close on Thursday, and because it's a counter trend trade, we want to be in these things kind of in and out, not always in just one day. This was just a quick one-day trade for us, but more or less it would be certainly a quicker trade for us. So we took 40% of this trade off at 22.85, so up here towards the highs of the day we took 40% off. We basically continue to trail that stop really tight once we take that partial profit. Unfortunately, it started to fade back here into the end of the day. We had the long weekend. We knew there could be, some risk just holding this overnight, so we decided we're going to just close this out, 22.70 for the rest of the position, just to keep us flat here, not sit through a long weekend, which could have anything happen. So TMV, a quick reversal trade, 1 day plus $250. So that was the roundup. Those are all the closed trades that we had this week, win, lose, or draw. Remember, we still had open positions still on, and we put on new positions throughout this week as well. If you add all this up, we had about a $295 week on, and that would equate to about 0.59% of the account size. So if you have a $10,000 account, you can adjust accordingly. A $100,000 account, you can do the math and sort of scale those numbers depending on where you are. So I hope this video helps, gives you some insight into not just the winners, but the losers and, the selling too early. It all happens, it's all real, but if you make enough good decisions, you can eventually just sort of grind your way to profits. And I think this week illustrates a nice mix of losers and winners. So if you're interested in these alerts in real time, you can head to thetraderisk.com/premium. If you have questions, love to hear them. And again, if you like this format, just let me know, leave a comment, give me a thumbs up on YouTube, and maybe I'll do more of these in the future. So thanks for watching. Have a great rest of the weekend, and I will talk to you soon.